Hello, dirty porn addict. My name is Julius Reed, and you're listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily, and here is, I guess, what we call a theme tune. And that's the theme tune for the show. Thank you for listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily, Episode 3. Get excited, folks. You know why it's time to get excited? Toasty! It's because we're coming up to the first segment! The checkup! That's right. Every show we do a checkup where I check up on you, the listener, or perhaps goat. Maybe you're a goat, like to listen to the show. I'm all for the goat the rising goat population of the world. Of course, lamb is delicious. I don't know if you've had some of that recently, but no. Today's checkup is every checkup. How you doing? Julius Reed, from one man to another woman or slash man, or maybe you identify as goat. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Have you been sad or happy lately? How can I help? Well, I just want to let you know that I'm here listening to you, making you feel warm and fuzzy, because your parents sure don't love you. That's a joke, but perhaps it's not, so let's go with it anyway. I know that's how I feel most days. So how are you coping? Are you doing well? And onto, I guess, the checklist side of things. Did you meditate today, or do you have plans to meditate? Meditation, obviously, very important for your recovery. If you're not doing it, well, I tell you what, you're going to go to hell and die and burn, die. Of course, you just got sniped there. Must have hurt. Wow. I love that one. It's the fail sound effect. Exercise also really important. Even if it's just a brisk walk, go for your brisk walk. Did you remain calm today? And did you remain aware today? Awareness, obviously, so very important. If you're not aware, it's going to be hard to basically gauge how you are so you can change your behaviors. If you're not aware of the fact that doing a certain behavior is going to cause you to watch porn, well, then you're going to watch porn because you're not going to be on top of your game. On top of your game, baby! Dunna! Julius Reed coming in for the win. And that brings us to our next segment. I was going to say the topic. Thank you, Topic, for bringing us that juicy segment header. As per usual, keeping it kosher on the show. I'm wearing my yarmulke. Are you wearing yours? So today's topic is discovering purpose during your recovery. I want to talk about purpose. I want to talk about what that may mean or what that means to you. And that's something for you to think about today, or perhaps if your day has happened. Who knows? Tickle me, baby. Don't know why. Discovering purpose during your recovery. I think an interesting thing you'll notice during recovery, or perhaps, you may have already noticed it, is that your purpose will change, and it will change over time. In the beginning, I think what happens is, for most of us, it's really just about improving ourselves. Maybe we heard of porn addiction, or, maybe we heard of, that it's not good for us, but, because we're doing it every day, we don't really understand. So, we attempt it, and it's kind of, it's a bit whatever. But then what happens, and this happens for a lot of people, is that you start beginning to actually not succeed in your recovery. You begin realizing, okay, actually now this is, a serious problem. And for a lot of people, the purpose becomes a lot more serious. It becomes this, okay, now I need to take this seriously because this is actually having not just adverse effects, but it's something that I have no control over. And, that's kind of a scary thing when you think about it, not having control over yourself and your behaviors. And, this can definitely manifest itself in awful ways. I mean, I know in my case, I was doing, I was avoiding people, and I was like skipping out on social events so I could watch porn. And, it's not to mention self-esteem as well. Like, after you've masturbated and you just got like the jitters and you're kind of feeling real down and almost disgusted with yourself. I mean, imagine feeling that every day, and perhaps you do. The purpose can become a lot more serious in response to the difficulty of recovery. In the beginning, self-improvement, and then later on it becomes a struggle and, a genuine problem that you identify, which is, acceptance is obviously one of the tenets of recovery. If you do not accept or understand what's going on, then you're going to not know what to do. So One thing I would say, though, is that while your purpose changes, I don't think your purpose should be the focus. Because the thing is, because purpose changes, and, purpose is sort of, when you think about it, directly related to our emotions and our feelings. It's like, purpose is a feeling of, I feel like I should be doing this, or I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. But those feelings come and go. And you've experienced this yourself. There'll be some days where you'll be like, damn, I really just want to smash this. I want, I have no feeling or need to watch porn or masturbate. Other days you'll be completely down and depressed. You'll be like, what's the point of anything? So by following your purpose, effectively you subject yourself to those moments where you're like, well, what's the point? So what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is to focus on process and commitment. And that should always be your focus. It shouldn't be your feelings. It shouldn't be your motivation. It shouldn't be willpower. It's the process and commitment. That should always be your focus. Because here's the thing. The process never changes. The process is actually really simple when it comes to overcoming porn addiction. It's as simple as focusing on your mental health and engaging in mental health practice. Because the more you engage in mental health practice, in fact, I would probably say the more consistent you are with your mental health practice, the more you're guaranteed to improve. The more you practice meditation, the more the skill that you develop, which is effectively letting go, you learn to let go. And then at some point it becomes second nature and you can actually see yourself and catch yourself from doing those negative behaviors well ahead of time. It's sort of interesting. People go, oh, well, I relapsed. And it's like, well, what happened? It's like, well, obviously I got stressed and I watched porn. But the thing is, the relapse didn't happen the moment that you orgasmed. The relapse happened possibly days, hours ago when you decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to engage with this behavior. Maybe I'll start edging, or maybe I'll just look at some softcore porn because, that's not like actual porn. And then next minute, you're covered in your own jizz. What's going on there? So yeah, it's about focusing on the process, not the purpose. With that said, having a sense of purpose can help. And it can help in the beginning in particular, in aligning you with your goals. Even just admitting, okay, so I really want to overcome porn addiction. That sense of purpose that you get initially is helpful. But the main thing is not to rely on it. Purpose comes and goes. When you have it, obviously be excited about it, but don't rely on it because it's just simply not there. In my case, as I mentioned before, in fact, did I mention it before? Who knows? In my case, my purpose, I guess, if I had to describe one, is, to be the best person that I can be at all times. And I guess this transcends purpose. This is now more of a fundamental principle. And I'll talk about fundamental principles in another episode, but fundamental principles are, like the process, they don't change. So, if your principle is to become the best person that you can, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what your purpose is. You will pursue that no matter what. So that is the topic. I hope it was helpful because it was helpful for me. Yay! No, that's the wrong one. I think that's the right one. With violence. Yes, die, baby, die. That was sexual for me. I don't know if that was sexual for you, but that was the topic, which brings us to the next segment, the viewer mail. The viewer mail. Thank you, Soundboard, for that wonderful intrepid. That's right. I'm throwing out the big words. Julius Reed. Yeah. Today's viewer mail comes from Riley Williams from Monrovia, Liberia. Obviously a real person. We used to hang out a lot. But then the Holocaust happened, and it was very serious. Riley says, hello, Mr. Reed. I'm a huge fan of the show. Thank you, Riley. I appreciate you liking the show. It means I like you too. Oh, Riley. Send us your number. Maybe a dick pic as well. I'm down for all sorts of media. Riley says, I can't stop masturbating to pictures of my mother. What should I do? Well, Riley, incest is, quite serious, so I recommend steering clear from that, and, maybe stop masturbating to your mother. But, Riley, it's difficult times, it's quarantine, it's COVID, and in these pressing times, the sensible thing to do would be to have sex with your mother. That way you can understand why it's wrong. Some people learn through trial and error. Maybe you just need to dig into that cesspool of that crusty vagina of your mother's and just go fist deep, no regrets. I personally cream pie my mother once a month just to remind myself that it's really not okay. And I can't believe I just said that. This is officially the last episode. I'm just going to kill myself. I said some awful things, and that's the only way to deal it. All right. Lock and load, baby. I'm doing it. Oh, that's a punch. I'm dead. Goodbye. I'm in heaven now. I'm in podcasting heaven. Thank you for listening to the show. That was
the viewer mail.
And yeah, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Reddit. We've got a subreddit if you want to check that out. NeverFapDeluxe.com is the website. Send us a message on the Castbox channel if you'd like. Send us an email on NeverFapDeluxe@gmail.com if you've got a viewer mail, a saucy viewer mail for me and my brethren. I also do another podcast, The Writers Daily. It's kind of like this. In fact, it's very similar. Thank you for listening to the show. And as per usual, look after your mental health.